It's Christmas soon, and we're back again for another festive podcast. I've got my holly on, bitches, and is that a thing still, holly? Probably stolen. I should have my stolen.
Where have you got it wrong?
Have you got a cold? You sound very
What?
like you have a cold. You do. You sound like you have a cold.
No, I'm not. Don't jinx me. I'm fine.
Now you've got. You've got Holly. Have you also got Ivy? Is she there as well?
I don't know. They come as a pair. I don't know.
No.
I only ordered Holly off the website.
If it's Holly, I'm in.
Yeah. And I can't think of a famous Ivy now, but there you go.
I had an auntie Ivy, but she wasn't really an auntie.
Luke, Matt,
Hello.
Gary,
Oh.
and Debs from a
Hello.
website entitled...
InsideMediaTrack.com.
And
What?
you're going to keep... You said a minute ago you're going to keep saying that.
Knowing you, you'll probably say something about my website along the way, so I shall just keep repeating myself.
This is already starting off quite hostile, isn't it? I don't know why.
We always start off quite hostile, and then we end up somewhere completely different. We
should
always end up
get
every year
also-
not actually talking about TV. That's part of the problem.
No,
Get
it was
involved in the Middle East Priest project, because we start off hostile and we end up okay.
The Priest
Yeah.
Project. What's that going?
Well, I don't know. It's a bit like the Saturday Night Project, but whatever it is.
the
But
Friday
less-
Night Project.
But there's
But
no
more funny.
Justin Lee Collins. Yeah.
Already not talking about telly, that's
I
amazing.
was on the
I don't think
telly.
you can mention Justin Lee Collins these days, can you?
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah, maybe I should have gone with Alan
Yeah.
Carr.
Cut that bit out.
Can you re-edit that and I go, well, the Saturday Night Project with Alan Carr?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you've done it now.
Okay.
So
I'm
Debs
liking
is
I've got
here.
Gary on my side, though. He's
Yeah.
just going to repeat it as
I
well.
know.
Then that's
He's a
great.
hell of a bouncer. Hell of a bouncer. You wouldn't want to
We
get
use
him.
him as a trampoline normally.
Watch it. I know where Stoke is now.
I don't live in Stoke,
You've
so
got-
I'm fine.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but you're at that radio station, I know roughly then, so I can come up there and meet you there.
Oh, I feel sick already. Okay. Best bits of the year for you, Debs, on the telly.
To be honest, the majority has been American programs, and I hate to say that. I hate to say that because usually I'm a big thing with UK TV, but I do think the America has won it this time. I'd say the usual ones that I pretty much say each year because they're great. The Americans,
Superb.
yeah, the
Not
100.
looked into that yet this year.
I'm loving
Yeah,
Dreadful.
the Americans was...
I really liked Daredevil. I thought that was
That's one of my favourites of the year
Yeah.
as well, Daredevil, just because I didn't expect it. It's a bit like Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the sense that the TV show makes you forget the film even existed
yeah.
because it's so good.
But in terms of UK shows, Humans, I think, is up there.
Yeah.
Unforgotten
Mm-hmm.
is definitely
Yeah.
up there.
How do you feel about there being another series, and how do you feel about presumably it being another body discovered from years ago? And is it going to feel a bit hackneyed, or did you like it enough to give it...
No, well, I
benefit
think
of the
it
doubt?
will work to continue on. I think there's been a lot this year that they have done sequels to that they really probably shouldn't have.
Mm.
And I think they've cancelled some things that I personally prefer.
I would prefer
But they
a second
hadn't.
series of Unforgotten over a second series of Dr. Foster.
I think Dr. Foster was really good, self-contained, wasn't it? And I don't think you do need a second series of that. I can see.
Although, now he's not found guilty, I reckon Dr. Fox could join forces with Dr. Foster and them set up like this whole new unit of medical professionals.
Dr. Gillian McKeith could join in.
I think the ratings would drop pretty quick, to be honest with that.
Amongst
I
the
don't
female
think you
population.
get. I think that'd probably kill it, rather.
Saran Jones, Neil Fox and Gillian McKeith. I do think we're in an era now where things will be recommissioned, and that did say at the time about Dr. Foster, it doesn't need a new series, but they'll probably give it one, and they did.
I think at the moment, if it's getting good ratings, then they're recommissioning.
Well,
I think
happy
the problem is it's all very. I mean, this is the way I felt about this year's TV is I think you've had a lot of good drama, good TV, but you haven't had much outstanding TV. It's a lot of the same.
We've done our best of the year list that I'm just working on now, and there are some shows on here I really liked, but really there's only about 2 that stand out.
Yeah, there's a lot of mediocre.
Mediocre, yeah, it has been that.
Ironically, I know as we record, it's on tonight. Luther could end up being in the top 3 of a lot of people's lists.
No, I don't think so.
I've seen
you've
tonight.
seen, so I'm saying could.
Yeah, I've seen tonight as well.
I was actually a little bit disappointed. Yeah, I thought it was good, but I don't think it's as good as the previous.
I was disappointed that Rose Leslie didn't say "You Know Nothing, John Luther."
I can kind of already figure out where it's going, and that bugs me.
But I think that's the thing. That show has been hyped pretty much all year. I think the other thing is, although you're right, we've lacked these blockbusters, these amazing shows. We've also lacked a lot of hype about shows. I mean, we've been waiting for Sherlock for almost a year.
I'm past caring about Sherlock.
I don't think you're going to get that much hype with certain shows though, because there isn't that many returning series.
No, and actually, you said exactly that because I listened back to.
I've said the same last year.
You said exactly that.
There's not many returning series. Even the ones that they have recommissioned a second series of, a lot of the time it's new characters, so it's not even like you get into
like the Syndicate.
I still don't know how they're going to do the missing.
So you're not growing with the characters. You're not seeing the characters change. You're not getting attached to certain characters because you're not getting the time to.
Because I said last year about TV box sets you'd get for Christmas. Is there one you would want from this year to look back on in years to come, or not really?
I think the Americans. It is Americans for me. I love the Americans. I actually I know a lot of people have kind of been a bit snotty about this, but I quite like Cuffs as well. I wouldn't say I'd get buy my DVD one, but I think that might be popular because
solid evening drama. I agree with you there. It's sort of something you can watch while you're having your tea. Or
I think some people are being a bit snobby about it.
I found it a bit amateurish the more it went on.
I think the differences with that, that continues on. You will grow with the characters. At the moment, they are supposed to be rookie characters. They're meant to be making mistakes. They're meant to be, not completely.
Then this is going to end up a bit like Casualty or Holby, where actually you're going to get.
It's already flashier than that.
Maybe not the number of episodes, but you're going to get the appeal, because as you say, you're growing up with the characters.
I don't think it's going to go on for years and years. I think the most you will get is probably 3 to 5 series.
Yeah, are they going to try and do a Waterloo Road type that because they brought back sort of twice or 3 times a year, didn't they, sort of thing? The only thing with Cuffs...
The ratings aren't good, so that might indicate the end of it.
The only thing with Cuffs that I didn't sort of gel with was the Paul Reddy character. I thought was completely out of step with the rest of the tone of the show. It was sort of very, very dark, I felt.
Yeah, I really wanted to like his character just because I loved him so much in Utopia.
I loved him in Utopia.
Yeah.
Was he the guy
he could have taken more people's eyes out. That was the thing.
Which one was he? Was he the one that visited the sex shop, the sex girls?
Oh yeah,
what is going
Cuffs,
on?
In Cuffs,
in Cuffs,
I was going to say,
Nice to know that's the bit you remembered, right?
I was trying to work out, because I recognised I recognised the names of all the other characters. It's him and him and him and him.
I think he only visited that once, didn't he? I'm pretty sure that was only in one episode.
How are you feeling about Channel 4 this year? Because they've been my channel of the year. I think the majority of their stuff has been, they seem to know their audience really well. Gogglebox is still doing really well and still relevant.
First Dates.
You tend to watch a lot of...
I mean, I like Channel 4. I like the documentaries. I think they do great documentaries. I've liked, The Secret Life of, the 4, 5 and 6-year-olds.
That's one of my favourites.
Yeah. Gogglebox, as you say. I do like Gogglebox. I think some of them are getting a bit too famous now.
Yeah.
And I think it's ruining the element of the point of they're meant to be like you, just somebody watching the TV.
I watched the first episode not so long ago, and it's night and day between what it is now and what it was then. It was very sort of raw and fresh, and obviously it was sort of like a 4-part pilot series, and now it's very, very popular on Channel 4's
Do you
best
think
rated.
that means they should just every series should be new people? Is that the way to make that work then? Really?
I would, yeah.
But then everybody knows how Gogglebox
I don't think
works,
necessarily
so
they need to do that. I think it's the contestants need. I think they maybe should make a choice that if they want to go off and do other stuff, then they leave Gogglebox.
Well, Steph and Dom have hardly been on this series, have they?
I tell you what I have been disappointed with on Channel 4, though. I usually love the educating series. I didn't like Educating Cardiff.
I didn't go for
nor
it
did
at all.
I.
I loved it. It's quite high on my top 10 list this year. I loved it. I found every episode had something good about it. I thought the head teacher was fantastic.
That's maybe something Channel 4 are doing too much of, because we said this about 24 Hours in Custody. That lost a little bit of its momentum by being on a lot. The educating series...
No, it's not
they do tend to flog it.
I suppose if you don't get on board with the teachers and stuff, then I can understand that. For me,
how many series of 24 Hours in A&E? I know they've changed the hospital.
We're on the 10th.
Matt said it was, I didn't engage with the characters. I didn't like, the teachers.
I can understand that, but I thought I really enjoyed. I think maybe just one that I wasn't a big fan of, but I think of the 4 so far, the East End was the one for me that I didn't.
Yeah, I
get
love
on board
the
with.
East End.
Well, I love the East End because I could understand them. So
we talked about this last year. Have there been any shows you thought you'd like that you didn't like? Last year you said The Driver was the one that you thought you'd like.
Yeah,
you didn't
remember that, The Driver.
London. I wouldn't say I didn't like London Spy. I did like it, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I think they've tried to make it too arty.
It was too obtuse, wasn't it? It was all a bit,
and I think they lost some of the story in that, and I think some of the episodes felt like they dragged.
Well, there wasn't really much of a story until what I understand at the end of episode 1. In the first, I only watched sort of half an hour, 40 minutes, and nothing to me, nothing happened. And that I was put off by that. I
watched the
premise,
first 2 and just didn't do anything for me.
I watched the whole series. I have watched the whole series, but there were episodes that it felt like they was just trying to go for clever camera angles, rather than just getting on with the story.
If you're playing the Custard TV podcast drinking game, that's the first time anyone's ever said obtuse on the podcast, so take a drink, folks. Last year we said how disappointing ITV have been. Unforgotten's the only show on our list from ITV. Have you found yourself watching more ITV than last year, or the same or less? Because I feel like it's less for me.
I think it's probably less. I think, as you say, it's Unforgotten's probably really been the only one. I did watch the last series of Downton, but that was just... I tend to dip in and out of that, but I wouldn't say it's out of any kind of, it's really good. It's just kind of a... Prey, I watched the first episode of Prey. Now, I hate to say this because, like Luke, I've interviewed Chris Lunt, and
we did it last week.
I was disappointed.
Yeah. It's horrible, that, isn't it?
I mean, I watched all 3 of them now, and it's just very forgettable, really, I would say.
But I think the problem is that that's now par for the course for ITV drama. There's only 2 that I can think of, Unforgotten being one, Endeavour being the other, where they don't follow that format of 3 episodes, good writer, not necessarily delivering. I mean, I know we had lots of chat about Broadchurch 2, and that didn't do anything for any of us.
I don't even think of that as this year, you know.
Well, it was, wasn't it? But I mean, it was so early, and it did disappoint.
I think the only other ITV drama that we sort of talked about, but ultimately sort of was a damp squib, was Blackwork.
You're always, and I think I've come round to your way of thinking after all these years, you're always talking about how you wish we had more long-form stuff, because these 3-parters are, they're not really worth the time, are they, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to big up American TV too much, because I do love British TV, but it does come down to that thing for me. I mean, you think there's certain American shows where I've hated a character at the start, but by the time I've got to like series 2, I've actually come to like the character, and I don't think you get that here at the moment because they're not doing we're not getting more than one series on a lot of things. Some are maybe getting 2, but as I say,